All right. Hello, Hoboken. This is Vera Sirota at the Hoboken Historical Museum. We are at 1301 Hudson Street, just a hop and a skip away from the Hudson River. You are tuning in to Hoboken Talks. We are so delighted to have the lovely Shakera Frazier-Rosa. She is the CEO of Miles Square Mommies. She's a mom, wife, dancer, singer, entrepreneur, creative, missionary, woman of faith. She is everything. So you will have the opportunity to not only just tune in, but also send in comments on Facebook and YouTube. We can't wait to hear from you. So let's everybody hear it for Shakera. Yay! Thanks, everyone. And thank you, Shakera, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We're
Thank
thrilled
you.
to have you. It's such an honor. Oh, we already have our first comment.
Oh, it's my husband.
Yay. Thank you to Robert. It's awesome. I feel like we're going to have a big love fest today. Awesome. Well, we're going to start at the beginning. We want to hear about your family. Your family is such a big part of who you are.
Yes.
You have 4 siblings, amazing parents. Your dad was a musician. Let's hear about your wonderful family.
My family is big, loving, rooted on faith and art for sure. I come from a family, if you don't sing, you dance, or if you don't dance, you play an instrument, or you do all 3.
Yeah. And you play the harp?
I play, the harp.
Did you bring it with you?
Oh, no. I wish. I do all 3. I sing, I dance, I play an instrument, I play a little bit of the drums. I think all of my siblings play the drums because my dad was a drummer. My dad also plays a little bit of the piano, so does one of my brothers.
And he was a DJ? That's why
my dad was a DJ. Yeah,
awesome.
I grew up with music just all around us. Like, I think I started dancing before, like, really walk. Those were my first steps, like dancing with my father.
Music in the house.
Yeah, dancing with my father's sister. Like, I was young, but I remember my Aunt Deborah just like singing, and that's how I started to like walk and dance.
That's amazing. And you're the oldest?
I am the oldest of the 4.
You have that vibe. You're very responsible.
I'm the mama bear.
Yes,
I'm very protective. And we're all so much alike, but so different. Like, I can't explain it. Like, we're all artists. We all create. I think we have the music thing in common, but I would say my brother Anthony, who's Mills, Chaseland, that's his brand. He's a rap artist and I'm the dancer. So I think we music is our first love, whereas the art and fashion is like all of our loves. But I would say like my youngest brother, my sister, my sister.
Yay,
Carrie, I love you. I was going to mention her. Carrie is one of my mentors. She started a program for girls, a Project Pride Girls Club.
Awesome.
In the West Side, in the Andrew Jackson Gardens. And she taught us how to be entrepreneurs. That's how I got into baking because of her.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And taught us to fundraise. So I love you, Carrie. She taught me a lot and trained me to be the woman I am today. She's one of my mentors.
We're happy to have her tune in. Amazing. We want to show some pictures. You have sent amazing photographs. For this programming, we really gotta make sure that we show baby Kira.
That's baby Kira.
So sweet. How old are you in this picture?
I believe that was Nuestros Niños. It's like a pre-K. Yes.
Okay. Beautiful smile. Still the
Thank
same
you.
smile. I love it. I think the next one is you got your
That's
siblings.
my mom
Yeah.
and my youngest sister Shay. That photo, that's a proud moment for me because my mom is a big reason of why I started like Miles Square Mommy. She was actually in a mom's group. She's an OG.
Oh no.
There was a Project Pride, Project Cope women's group, and that right there was the Hoboken Boys and Girls Club Christmas party. That her and all the women in that group, Miss Cindy Willis, God rest her soul, Linda Davis, Vanessa Davis, Gina Prelo, just all the women in the community came together to do this big Christmas concert. It was like free food, gifts for everybody, and yeah, that's me probably with my mom.
Your greatest inspiration. It sounds
Yes,
like.
yes,
A lot of your programming ideas. That's
My
incredible.
mom and her friends are like a big inspiration to me starting Miles Grandmommies. Like I want to do for the community what they did for us growing up.
Right, you're giving back. That's a great picture. And I think the next picture is, yes, here you are.
Yeah.
These are all four of you.
That's the first four grandkids. Well, the first, Mandrell's the first one. He's older, but that was the gang. That was the four of us. So 324 Monroe Street. That's my brother with the stripes. And that's my cousin Wesley and my cousin T. We really grew up like siblings, and we are still close that way.
That's great. That's incredible. Your grandparents. We have to talk about your grandparents. Your grandparents are not from Hoboken. They migrated.
No, yes.
Right? They're part of the Great Migration from the south
from the
to
south
Hoboken.
to the Hoboken.
Tell us about them.
My grandma, who I have her smile.
I see that. Absolutely.
My Nana Rose, that was like my best friend. Like I did everything with her. I learned a lot about giving back to the community and just helping people. She literally would have her door open for everybody, and people would just come, and she could see that they needed talk or they needed prayer. She would pray with people. She would feed people. And, I got to witness that. And it's really a blessing because I just felt like that was the way you're supposed to be, very missional. Seeing that, I just feel like that was a purpose that everybody should just be missional and loving and compassionate like that.
And generous.
Yeah.
Right.
And my grandfather, I get his height and his swag.
Great mother.
Yes. He was a hard worker. So my Nana, she's from South Carolina. And I think she's the oldest. I think it was like, it was 14, a lot of 14 years. It was a lot of kids. And my grandfather, he's from Georgia. And I remember him telling me that they came up north for a better life, for jobs. He didn't finish. My family ties back to sharecropping as well. And I remember him telling me that he didn't finish past kindergarten or first grade because he had to work. So when they decided to come up north, they actually had to like take his brother from like another like owner, like worker. And I thought that was crazy because you don't think that, your family goes through things like that.
Yeah.
But
it's so fresh and so relevant.
Yeah. So they came up here, and my Nana, she worked in the leather factory, Neiman.
Newman.
Yeah, she worked there. My grandfather, truck driving, he did everything. I just remember my mom saying that they were well off, like up here. Like
they found a better life.
They found a better life, and
I'm so glad.
They look how young and how happy they are right there.
That's a great picture. Oh,
that's my brother. Thanks, Lynn. Yeah, that's my brother.
Oh, so sweet. Love hearing the support. And I think we actually have another picture of your grandparents too. Yeah, look at this. I must be going,
yes.
So
that's when everybody moved out of the house in 324 Monroe Street. So they had to downsize because the house was lonely. And also, that was after the oldest daughter, my aunt, was murdered. So that was like a huge transition. 99 2000. It was very, very hard in that house. So, and my aunt moved away because she used to live there with her, and then her other son, and my dad and my mom, they were not in the building anymore. We were on Andrew Jackson Gardens at the time. So then they moved to the next building, which was cool. But we wanted to move into 311, a little like across the street from them. But they downsized, and that was their last apartment together before she passed away. So,
and I think you mentioned that you always lived on like around 3rd Street.
My uncle. Yeah, 3rd Street is
it's like 3rd and Monroe, 3rd and Marshall.
Yes, 3rd and Harrison.
3rd and Harrison.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm a horseshoe kid. We call that area
the horseshoe.
3rd and Marshall. 310 Marshall Drive, because it's shaped like a horseshoe.
Well, let's talk about your background picture for a second. If we could bring that up. Let's talk about Southwest Hoboken. You are definitely a product of Southwest Hoboken.
Yes, that's 310. That's the horseshoe right there, the point.
Yeah. Tell us, like, what was it like growing up in that area?
I remember in that area, it used to be very vibrant. It was fun. It was such a community. We had people like carry grooms. Dave Little, he used to do a lot of recreational sports programs for kids down there. And the Project Cope and the Kids Club. They used to put on Lily Dorch. Everybody knows Lily Dorch as Aunt Dump. She's like a mom to everybody. They used to put trips together, programs, just teaching us to be entrepreneurs,
Right.
to be good citizens. It was just a fun time growing up down there. That's my auntie.
She's liking your stories.
Yeah, it was fun. We had special people down there. I remember we had a Piragua man, shaved ice. He used to come around, and I'll never forget the empanilla man. He used to yell empanilla, so we all knew the call. We knew he was coming to feed everybody, and he would sell empanadas and just sell things, and sometimes he would give people too for free because he had a generous heart. So like, I don't forget people on the west side like that. It was fun growing up down there.
It sounds like a very special sense of community and such a cohesiveness and like a sense of family.
Yeah, there used to be a lot of block parties. Zelda Huggins had a lot to do with that. Cindy Willis. There used to be a lot of block parties and talent shows and just a good time.
That's
a
great.
Good time down there, yeah.
You can tell from this picture. Oh, you're teaching me some stuff I love to know about our grandparents.
Oh, that's my cousin Cherish.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, because Cherish. I love you, Che. Yeah, so my brother and Cherish. It was so many of my little cousins. More than I can count. They kind of like missed out because that's when my grandparents passed. They only had about like 7-8 years with my grandparents. So, so that's
You're protecting the memories.
Yes. So we actually call ourselves Nana's Garden. My grandmother's grandkids, because she's Nana Rose. That was her name. She loved flowers, and she always considered us as her garden. So that's why we call ourselves Nana's Garden, our cousins.
That's beautiful.
And I'm the garden keeper.
Right? You're the oldest, right? Yeah, that's amazing. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. I wanted to talk a little bit about school and your experiences in school. And it sounded like when we talked originally, Brant School was really important to you in terms of your development and the person that you are today, the creative that you are today.
Definitely.
You got exposure to some amazing teachers like Miss Ohouse and Mr. Ising.
Mr. Ising, yeah.
And
Mr.
so tell us a little bit about that experience and what kind of impact did all these teachers have on you?
Oh yeah, these teachers are like, I would say like bonus, like guardians. I would say even my parents have so much respect for like Mr. Eisen and Miss Ohouse and Mr. Enrico, who's the band teacher, taught me how to play my first instrument, the clarinet.
That's amazing.
He was also my dad's band teacher. So, and my dad was like a percussionist, a legend. So Mr. Enrico expected his kids to be that way.
High expectations.
He did. It was very tough at first. I was like, oh, I'm not my dad. Like me and my brother, we played with Mr. Enrico. That taught us a lot, discipline. And, when I got to Brant, it used to be Brant and Demers, the two middle schools in Hoboken. Brant was actually labeled Brant, the School of Technology, and Demers was the School of Arts.
Right.
And I wanted to go to Demers, but my mom was like, no, you're going to go to Brant. So when I got to Brant, it was mind-blowing because I've never really passed Fifth Street. I've always gone up to Washington and Hudson, but I've always stood between like 5th and 1st. So to go past that, I was like, okay, so past Calabro, there's these, it's a nice neighborhood. It was all new. It felt like a different experience.
It felt different. Interesting.
And then when I got to Brant, culturally, on the west side, Hoboken is very diverse. On the west side, it was a lot of Hispanic, but it was mainly Dominican and Puerto Rican. But when I got to Brant, it was like Ecuadorian and Cuban, and like it was just like a different cultural experience for me. So I got introduced to, I befriended a lot of like Dominicans and Cubans, and just learned about salsa dancing
That's so
and
valuable.
Afro-Cuban dancing. And of course, like I loved African dance. So I would just connect that way too and learn more. And then I met Mr. Ising. He was the chorus teacher. And he really
Put you to
pulled that.
work.
Yeah, he really, I would say after, when I was in seventh grade, I would say sixth grade, really, Mr. Eisen started to see like, oh, she can choreograph. So he started, if there was a few girls singing a duet or a trio, he's like, okay, do the choreography. So I started doing the choreography to go into the chapel and different things
Right.
like that.
Doing dance and singing.
Dance and singing.
Mm.
And when I was in seventh grade, I was actually a cheerleader in Hoboken Rec Devils. They're the cheer dynamic all stars now, but I was Hoboken Rec Devil, and we had a competition. We were hosting a competition in Hoboken High School, and Miss Orhouse was in the theater with the drama club. And I kept going past and just like peeking in. And then I saw my cousin go in, Tori, my older cousin Tori was already in high school. And she said, come inside with me. So I said, okay. I snuck away from my duties, the competition. And I went inside and I saw Miss Orhouse directing, and she was looking at me too. And I was just in awe because Steve at the time on stage, I didn't know at that time when I first saw him that he danced for Janet Jackson and LaToya. And growing up, Janet was everything to me in my house. You know, Janet was everything. So I was just looking at him in awe as he was choreographing. And then I saw my cousin talking to Miss Orhouse, and then she called me. She said, hey, your cousin said you know how to dance. You like to dance? And I said, yeah, I love to dance. She was like, just asking me questions. You're a cheerleader. You do this. Okay, can you go up there? Do you want to learn how to dance? Do you want to do that? So I'm like,
So they invited you for the audition?
yeah, so basically,
You're
I didn't know.
skipping
I was skipping peer.
Audition.
Yeah,
And you're in
so
middle school too.
and I'm in seventh grade.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at
I'm
the
in
same
seventh
time.
grade.
Right.
So I get up there and I just catch on to the routine, and Steve is impressed, and we're having a good time, and we're sitting on the edge of the stage, and they called me down and they say, hey, I just need you to do me something. Would you like to be in the play? And I said, and then she asked for my parents' information, and she said, I just need you to do one thing. Can you sing Happy Birthday for me? And I was so nervous because I sang in the choir in church and stuff, but I wasn't a soloist. So
Put you on the spot.
she put me on the spot, and I sang Happy Birthday. And she was like, you have a beautiful voice.
Yes,
And
you could dance, you could
Yeah.
sing, and you could learn choreography like right on the spot.
that was the turning point.
As a seventh grader.
As a seventh grader.
Right, and
that
this is
was
the high
turning
school
point.
show.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible.
The confidence, it just
Sounds like a
blew
movie.
That's my youngest brother.
Oh, glad he's tuning in.
Yeah, that blew my mind because although I was on cheering, like I didn't have that confidence just yet, like to be in the spotlight. Plus I was tall and cheering, so I was like the spotter. I was behind everything like that. So, and then Mr. Ising, I started to get more comfortable. But once Miss Ohouse, put me on that stage and really started to encourage me and say, Lovey, 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 you can do it. You can do this. You can do that. I'm going to call your parents. We're going to have somebody bring you. I can drive you home after the rehearsals. She really took care of me, like very motherly. And after that show,
That changed your life, right?
Once on this island,
Yeah.
changed my life.
So you're a
I
seventh
learned-
grader doing a high school show at Hoboken
Right.
High.
I learned so much about backstage theater, training, and just to receive flowers from my Nana and like my Aunt Deborah, God rest her soul, like to see my family at the end of the show come up to the stage and give me flowers. That was just like, oh,
Well, these teachers
Yeah.
saw that in you and gave you that opportunity. That's incredible.
yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Oh,
That's
you
my
did
cousin.
Such positive vibes. I love it. Well, we want to see some of these pictures. We have a picture of you at the branch. Oh, that's your grandma.
Yes.
That's on your mom's side?
That's my mom's side. That's
Yeah.
my Native American queen. Happy Native American Heritage Month, everybody.
Absolutely. She came from the South too, right?
She came from North Carolina, actually from Our tribe has a small town called Lumberton. It's a small town. It's still there. And that's where she's from, Lumberton. And she came up north for a better life as well.
Yeah, that's on your mom's side.
That's my mom's side, yeah.
Beautiful. I think it was the next picture. It's, yes!
Oh,
France.
that's me in gray. Yeah, the braids, Brandy at the
Beautiful.
time.
Yes. And I love the background.
Oh, yeah, that's so millennial.
Yes.
Y2K.
I love it. I love it. But there you are. That's where it all started. Was at
That's
Brand.
Brand School. That's
You
where
had
it
the
all
right teachers
started.
looking out for you. And I think we have another picture. So this is actually from the show, right?
That's from
You
the first
circled
show.
yourself
Yeah.
with this big production.
Yeah, that's Once on This Island.
Once on This Island.
Life changing. I still speak to most of the people that's in this photo, which is
That's awesome.
crazy. And yeah.
Oh, it's really hot.
Oh wait, I think that was Officer is he Sergeant Jonathan Butler?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's there. Yeah. He's in there. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
That's
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then I think this is Miss Ohouse
That's Miss Ohouse.
from
She
your
was-
wedding. So you
Yes.
kept in touch all these years. It's
Yes.
the power of great teachers, of
Yes.
mentors.
Mhm. She had to
love
be
you
there.
and
Like
care
my
about you.
parents, everyone in my family knows Miss Ohouse. She was even
Yeah.
dancing with my cousins at the wedding. She's like Auntie Miss Ohouse.
That's amazing.
I love her so much. She did so many incredible things, more than just teaching us theater. Like she really was there. She took me to take my college placement test as well. She really, really, really cared about us.
That's incredible. Oh, and so now we're in high school.
Yeah.
Right? You're at Hoboken High.
Junior, I'm a junior.
Yeah, and this is a very pivotal moment in your life. You've been dancing and you have the opportunity. You actually end up interning at Alvin Ailey.
Yeah.
And this is a moment you said that you got to perform, and it was like a very high stress moment. There were a lot of
Yes.
people in the audience, Board of Education trustees, New
Yes.
York Times. It
Yes.
was a big performance, and that's when you found out that.
That
So tell us more about that.
So, through Miss Ohouse, she was always trying to get grants and like really push the students from Hoboken High School out there. She really saw potential in us, talent. She really believed in us. So we got a grant from, I believe, the New York Times and Alvin Ailey to have classes. The musicians from Alvin Ailey, and so we had a live drummer in the class.
Oh, cool.
The musicians and some instructors from Alvin Ailey will come and give us 3-hour dance classes. Like
An enriching
intense,
opportunity.
intense classes twice a week. It was on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'll never forget it. For 3 hours after school, and it was strengthening your core, everything that you would learn if you were in like the Fordham program with Alvin Ailey, or if you were in the intense training.
And you're like
professional.
16 at this age.
Yes.
Wow.
And this is in Hoboken High, like
Right.
for free.
Right.
You know? So it was like, it started out with like 80 kids because Ms. Ohouse, you know, she really stressed like, this is important. This is an once in a lifetime opportunity, guys. And then it dwindled down to like 8 of us
a big commitment.
who really stuck it out. And we did this that whole winter, and then there was a big showcase like you mentioned where people from the Board of Education came because they wanted to see what the kids learned from Hoboken High, and they were like really impressed with how professional, like on the professional level that we were on, and even the musicians, the drummers that would come and the instructors, they were so proud of us from Alvin Ailey. They were so happy. And that photo, that moment was intense. I have my foot wrapped up because my foot was like really acting up, but that was such a life-changing performance and day. And, you know, I was blessed with the internship, a paid internship.
So
with
at
Alvin Ailey.
the show, it was announced that you would get an internship.
After
Or
the show, I think Ms. Ohouse and Mr. Ramos and some people knew. I could tell now thinking about it that they wanted to say more, but they couldn't at the time. So it was announced at this big award ceremony that they used to do in the Hoboken public school system. They used to have these big award ceremonies for academics and just awarding students for the awesome things and giving back to the community. And that's where it was announced, and I had no idea, and everyone just went crazy.
Oh, that's awesome.
At the time too, I was like, well, I don't even know what that means. I know it's something big, you know. And Miss House was crying, and they had a certificate from the Board of Education, and it was, that's my dad.
Oh, I'm glad he's watching.
So yeah, that all thanks to Miss Orhouse for really pushing. And
you got a paid internship with Alvin Ailey over the summer.
Yes, and also it was part of the New York Times CAS. It was the Children Aid Society. They would give summer jobs to teens. So I would have to do training like every other Friday with the rest of the kids in New York.
Okay.
So that's why when I went to the training in Rockefeller Center with thousands of kids, teenagers with different jobs provided through the New York Times for the summer.
Right.
And they would say, what borough? I know you're from this borough. You're from Manhattan. And I'm like, I'm from Jersey. And everyone would look at me crazy, like, what are you doing over here? Like, oh, you work for Alvin Ailey and you're doing, oh, that's like, they thought it was mind blowing that a kid from Jersey was like in New York so much during the week, every day.
You said you had to commute to Washington Heights.
Washington Heights.
Hoboken.
All
5 days a week.
5 days a week, Monday through Friday, that whole summer. And for those who don't know Washington Heights, that's
it's
like,
all the
I
way
had to
north.
take it all the way to 168th Street and then walk down to like 173rd and 174th.
Wow. Incredible. Well, we're so proud.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it did. It really did. It really did. I learned so much that summer.
That's an incredible institution.
I got to take free classes, of course. It was the Alvin Ailey camp that they had me working for. So I was a leader. So I basically had to take the dancers that got into the program. These kids auditioned, wrote essays to get into this program. It was a big deal. And the camp was sponsored by every big dance name, like Capizio donated, and Capizio and Block donated ballet shoes and bags. So I got my first ballet slippers from Alvin Ailey.
Wow.
I got the same treatment that the kids got. And I got to take them to their classes. And at first I was scared to take the class. I just wanted to make sure that they were good. And one day, one of the professors was like, Shakera, come up, please. I need you to do a flatback series in this 8 count with me. So she put me on the spot. And I noticed after that, the kids was like, oh, okay, Miss Shakera, like you're really a dancer.
Yeah.
And like that motivated them. So
You were put on the spot again.
so I noticed
You're
like
always ready.
in between classes and journal time when they're stretching, they will come to me, how do you do this? Like we will go over routines together. So that really helped me with my confidence to be confident in teaching and coaching and mentoring.
And you ended up doing that a lot at the high school.
Yeah,
You
that
did a lot of
really
dance.
planted the seed.
Right. Oh, congratulations.
That's my aunt.
Teresa.
Hi.
So good you're watching. That's awesome. I think we have one more picture of you with your crew from the Alvin Ailey, right? So this was like the final 8 or whatever.
And we're all friends to this day.
That's what I know. This Santiago teaches at Brown.
Yes, Miss Santiago. She sent me this picture.
That's wonderful. These are the serious committed dancers who really wanted to do
And Pedro with the gray shirt, we're in contact. He just was part of Hey Dad, the series that I just did. And
right.
the orange and the green, the orange and the red, the twins,
Yes,
Gina
right.
and Carlos.
Yeah.
They are amazing professional musicians and they do parties now.
Okay, cool.
Like
That's good for us to know.
live music. They have a band. They DJ. And Namibia, the yellow is my soul sister. She really encouraged me when I started Miles Square Mommies. I would tell her everything like, this is what I want to do, and she's like, all right, we're gonna meditate on it. We're gonna talk about it, and you're gonna go for it. Like,
sounds good.
she was my push. Marlene, that's my friend. And then you got Allison right there, and Cynthia with the dance band. And Cynthia was like my ride or die. Like, that was my dance bestie. Like, we would go to like auditions together. It was always me and her as the dance captains in the high school drama club. And she actually put the robe on me. She was like it's your turn.
Oh, she's at Hoboken. I love it. Well, we actually have some more pictures of you from Hoboken High. So
Yeah.
this is my side story. I love this dress.
Yeah, those are my girls.
Oh,
Actually,
look at that.
my friend Jasmine, who was because that was our sophomore year, a sophomore, she sold that dress.
Okay.
My friend Jasmine Serrano and Miss Dumois, she was a teacher.
Wow.
They sold that dress.
It's incredible.
They sold all the dresses that you see. I believe she was Anita with the purple on,
Great costumes.
and then Ilian, we call her baby. That was our girl. She was Maria.
Awesome.
And we're all friends, and we all got cast together. So that was like the best time for us. We never want to leave the theater. 6:00.
That's a
It's
great
like, we
show.
still want to hang out, and we won a lot of. We got a lot of nominations, and we got the opportunity to perform America on the Paper Mill Playhouse stage.
That's awesome.
Paper Mill Playhouse when they award like all the theater, the schools of New Jersey. And that was like a big thing. That's like the Oscars or the Academy Awards.
Right.
Like to hear the announcer, announce our name, and we're like mic'd up, and oh my God, like an experience that I'm sure they'll never forget, because I never forgot it.
I love hearing how Hoboken High did such a good job of nurturing the arts and creativity.
That's our dress rehearsal too. It's like we were like all the makeup and everything on. I think I still got like pins in my top right there.
That's great. And I think we have another picture. Yeah, you're getting a gypsy robe. Tell us about this. You were bringing this down for me earlier. And the Miss O House is also
Miss O House and Mr. Ramos is right there. This moment was like mind blowing. So the gypsy robe in theater is basically it's the robe, and it has like pieces, garments, or just elements from different shows that the theater put on.
Okay.
And that was the first gypsy robe that Hoboken High School has ever had. And
so it's like a special moment for you.
it was a very special moment. They awarded it to me because it's awarded to the cast member or the dance captain who has the most like shows under their belt.
Wow.
And I was a junior there, and that's Cynthia, my dance bestie, presenting the robe, and Miss O House with the mic, and Mr. Ramos behind her with the gray. So that was a very emotional moment for me.
It's really clear the sense of love that everyone has.
Yeah,
right?
my friend Pedro over
That's
there.
Everyone's rooting you on.
So you would put that robe on. That's when they presented it to the town after the show. Like, this is what we're doing. But before the show that day, they surprised me. You put the robe on before the show.
Gotcha.
And everyone stands like in a like almost like a horseshoe or a circle. And you say your good luck or whatever, and the person with the gypsy robe has to walk around, and everyone has to touch for like good luck, or you give them a hug and say,
like a
"You got
ritual."
this." So so that was very emotional for me. Like, I'm crying, giving everybody a hug, and just saying like, "You got this. You're gonna be great."
And they're
like,
commemorating your record because you've done so many shows.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful picture. Aww. Oh, and here we have, this is called Final Attraction.
Yes.
Santiago, I got it.
Yes. Final Attraction.
So these are all your dancers.
My dance crew. Yeah. Freshman year, it was just 4 of us. In my living room, my mom, she had a bunch of mirrors. My mom was very into like home styling, and she had like a bunch of mirrors on the wall, and I think she did that purposely because we were always practicing dancing. And
she had like your own studio, your own dance
the
studio.
living room was a dance studio, and she didn't have a lot in it. She just had one. She had her plants. She loved plants, and she had this one long couch that like circled the living room because everyone was always at our house. Like it's 4 of us, and then it's my cousins, and then it's like 4 extra dancers. And then as you know, my sophomore year, that's when Derek, shout out to Derek, I love you. Derek was like, because we did the talent, they used to have these big talent shows in Hoboken, Hoboken High. They need to bring them back. The talent shows featured everybody of all ages. Oh,
The best dance squad.
Thank
so
you.
Many memories.
And
I love this collage.
Yeah. I had to do something, and I'm like, I hope I didn't miss anybody, but I'm sure I did because I don't see Kyle. But I missed a lot of the guys in that one. But and yeah, so it grew to like almost 20 of us. So like my mom,
So you're dancing, but you're also choreographing.
I'm court,
you're,
yeah,
like,
so
growing in
yeah,
leadership,
yeah,
right?
and we all were friends. It's like no one really asked to be in it, in the crew. I know people wanted to because some people did tell me, but it just came like organically. Like I saw somebody do something in dance class and in the Alvin Ailey class, like Cassandra was the perfect example. She was a new student, and I knew her god sister, and they're like, "You need to take her to dance class with you. She needs friends." So I wasn't like, I'm different on stage than I am in person. So I was very shy, even though I don't look it. And, we connected through dance. And then it was just like, you have to
You
be in
wanted
the
to
play.
keep up with it.
I got to bring you to Miss O House, and you got to dance with my crew, and that's how it was growing. And even some teachers like Mr. England, Mr. England told me about Chris up there, Fire. We called him Fire. He had those eyes, and he had that blonde hair, and everybody loved him. He had this big smile. God rest his soul. He's the only one of the crew that's not with us today.
I'm sorry.
But that was my brother, and I remember seeing him. Because Hoboken is so small, but I never I would nod, but I never really hung out with him until high school. And Mr. England told me, "Hey, you need to get Fire, Christopher. Chris Hayes, Fire, you need to get him." And I was like, I don't know him.
Nickname.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know him like that, Mr. England. And I'll never forget at the game, because I used to cheer and dance in Hoboken High School too.
You were really busy.
Yeah. I was in the band, and then I left the band to do the dancing.
Yeah.
And they used to have like these halftime shows where Hoboken and the other team would come together, and it was almost like a battle. And like, we're killing it, Hoboken, and the whole town is watching now. And then you see him in the stands, Fire. He's doing like footwork, and people are like, "Oh!" So I'm looking at him like, "You're stealing my thunder right now."
Oh my goodness.
And Mr. England's in the audience, and he's like,
You gotta loop them in.
I told you.
Good job.
Yeah, so,
dance routine.
and that's how it all happened. Like, I went up to him, and he's like, cool, because that's how he was, like, cool, not so much of a talker. And then all of us became like brother and sister, staying over my house. My mom literally had like 20 kids in her house.
You guys are all dancing.
And we're all dancing all night.
That sounds like a movie too.
I have like videotapes. My dad brought me a camera for my 16th birthday, and I always thought I was going to be like Hype Williams. So I was always moving my mom's furniture. We were creating like backdrops, recreating videos and dancing.
Yeah.
So yeah, Final Attraction gave me the best time of my life. And like when we all see each other, or
when you guys are all friends and peers, and you guys are like growing as dancers and as performers.
They're talking about a reunion, but we'll see. It's been like 20 years, and most of us got kids. And I think maybe my sister's the only
We
one
might have to
without
you guys
kids.
be part of a parade or something.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
I think a lot of people would want to see that.
Yeah.
It's really clear how close all of you are.
Yeah, we were family.
Yeah, it seems like that. That's incredible. Oh, and this is you graduating, right?
Yeah, that's
the end of high school.
That's my high school graduation. Yeah.
So you grew so much, like between Brant and Hoboken High.
I did.
You just like grew as a performer, as a dancer, as a singer, choreographer, a leader.
Yeah, a lot more confident. Like I think in high school it was like, no, that's just what I'm gonna do. Like, and in church, I came from a church who was very supportive of the arts. And my pastor, like Pastor Cannon, he passed away 2 years ago. When my grandparents passed away, Pastor Cannon became like my spiritual grandfather, him and his wife. So they were very nurturing. They came to like my shows in Hoboken High. Afterwards, they let me perform in the church, perform interpretive dance and praise dancing. People was asking my pastor if we could perform at their church. And, back when I first started doing that, about like, in the 2000s, that wasn't allowed in a lot of churches. But like my pastor like really believed in me and really nurtured the art of singing and dancing. So like I have him to credit too, Pastor Cannon.
Oh, shout out to class of 4.
The best class, the top 10 class. That's my mom, Brenda.
Aw, thank you for tuning in, Miss Brenda. Aw, so after high school, you could say, "Oh, who do we have here?" Tell us about Rob.
Oh
How you guys
man,
met?
we laugh about this now. When we first met, I think we both were in like coming out of two hard times. I was coming out of at the time when I met him, I wasn't even trying to date. I wasn't dating. I had no intentions of being with anyone because I was coming out of like the mourning stage, processing, losing all four of my grandparents back to back to back to back. So that was very hard that time. And for him, I didn't know at the time, he's a miracle because he was on the bike in New York City before I met him, like a year and a half before I met him. And he was on a bike and a cab smacked into him. And he flew off the bike the length of two vans, they said.
That's horrible.
So he's like a miracle. So the night that we both met each other at that event, he said that he didn't want to be there because he was still going to therapy at least 4 to 5 times a week for his body.
Wow.
And his friend was like, "Oh, you
Big
need to
recovery.
come out, right? Like, you need to get back into your music," because he wasn't working at the time because he was recovering. And he was just telling him, "You need to get back to your music. You need to get back to writing. So come to Jersey. Come to Jersey."
He's
So,
a fellow creative. He's a writer.
Yes.
Right?
He's a spoken word artist, graffiti artist, a writer, photographer. He's very artsy. He's from the Lower East Side of Manhattan. So,
Ooh.
yeah.
Like bursting with inspiration.
Yeah. So he came to Jersey from New York with his friend. And my friend, Princessa, the social butterfly, I love you, Cess. She takes credit for this.
For matchmaking.
Yes, for matchmaking. So she was reaching out to me that summer and she kept asking me to hang out. And I was just like making up excuses. And then my mom was like, "You need to just go out, go hang out." So Princessa comes and me and my mom see her. I'll never forget. She was, dressed nice because Princessa loves to dress. She's a makeup artist. She's a hairstylist. She had her hair done. And my mom was like, "You sure you want to change? You don't want to change?" Because I had like my Batman t-shirt on and it's very casual. And I had my curly hair. But the only thing I did change was my shoes. I took my sneakers off and I put like flats to I put on a necklace just to dress it up a little bit. And they dragged me to this open mic, but I'm glad that I went because I met my husband that night.
I love it that you guys were at a creative event together.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I didn't see him at all. We were at the back and Princessa kept saying, let's go to the front. And I was like, "No, I'm good back here." Because, I just started blogging and I was like, I can get my shots from over here. And I'm not a social butterfly. I was just coming out of a lot mentally. And being around all those people was a lot for me. So the host came back there and we spoke. And he's like, "I want to invite you ladies up to the front." So I was like, okay. So we go to the front. And my husband tells me that him and his friends saw me and Princessa coming up and they were like, "Oh, okay, checking us out." But I didn't see anybody because I'm nervous. I'm just like, okay. And I just remember it was an intermission, but I remember once he got on the stage, his voice just captivated everybody in the room. And it's so funny. He did like this anti-love poem. It was like, it's called "I Want to Fall in Like." Like, I want to like you, but I don't want to fall in love. Like, I don't know how to trust.
He sounds
like,
scared.
Yeah.
Scared of love.
It's like, I want to like you. Can we fall in like first? Like, like that. So I remember at the end, I think he said something, "If you like me back." And that's how like he ended it. And me and my friend looked at each other and was like, yeah. Like, and we like giggled about it, whatever. And at the end of the show,
there was a connection.
I was, when you feel somebody like watching you, like I remember standing there and my friend, she's talking and I just turned around and he's like there, like right there. So I was like, "Oh, good job. Nice. I like your poem." And he's like,
"I like that follow."
Yeah. That's my god sister. Yeah. Aww. And I was like, I like that poem. It was really nice. It's different. And he's like, "Thank you." Like, he didn't say much. And then he just like gave me his card. And I'm like, but everybody was like networking that way. So I was like, thanks. And, he was just looking at me. So I was like so nervous. And I remember laughing because my friend got the same card. Sess and I laugh about this all the time. On my card, his number was on it, and on her card it was no number. Like it was just like a professional card. And it was like, she was like, girl. And we became friends. We seen each other at more of these events. I remember
That's a good thing you went out.
Yeah. I started going to more poetry slams because I was a writer myself, and it was healing me too, like to come out and be around more creatives my age, especially the events that we were at. It was a lot of faith-based events, so it was like the young Christian Muslim artists using the arts to like be positive and spread art. So I remember being a judge for the slam, and I think I gave him like a 9.8 instead of a 10. I'm sorry, babe. Hey, he's like, your 9.8 maybe get second place on that slam. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, but we joke about that a lot. And yeah, we became really, really good friends, like very good.
Because you guys liked
friends.
each other first.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
That poem
easy to talk to. Yeah. And I was afraid because I was like, he's a poet and he's so good with words. I don't want to get played.
Aww. And we have a picture of you guys getting married.
Yeah. We made 10 years this summer. Yeah, we made 10 years. Yeah, that's us on our wedding day, July 13th.
2013.
Yeah, and you see he has the Superman on, and under his tuxedo and his shirt, he has a Superman because, that connected us. And on my bouquet, I had Wonder Woman because that's how, when he met me, I had a Batman shirt on.
That's
He
so
said,
romantic.
that's what caught my eye when you and your first walking. He's like, oh, she got a Batman shirt on. And it was a vintage Batman shirt on.
Right.
But he was like, I want to see if she knows what she's talking about. And I do.
You're
And I do. So
We're going to be loving this.
our wedding had those elements, like his boutonniere was Superman, and I had Wonder Woman on my bouquet.
Aww.
Like we incorporated
Creativity
Marvel and
everywhere.
Capcom. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, you have two beautiful children. We wanted to see.
Yeah, that is Hero. That is my first rainbow baby. That's how a rainbow baby is your baby after child loss. We lost our first child.
I'm so sorry.
So yeah, it was hard. And Hero lives up to his name. We always say like he's not a replacement. He's the new hero who colored our world again.
Right.
Like we have Hero. He's just amazing. Like he comes from our hero. Robin and I are very faith. We love God and we pray, and that's why his name is Hero, because he comes from God, our hero. And also I kept seeing hero, and it all ties back to us about like how we met, my Batman shirt, the wedding, us just, connecting through comic books. And I remember he said, I have a friend named Hero that I grew up with. It's actually an Asian name. And I looked up the meaning, and it's like man of valor.
Aww.
Someone that people could look up to, like a hero. A man of dignity, of grace, and I was like, okay.
That's a great meaning.
Like, yeah. And I was like, and I want my son to be just that. And I know because he has a great father, and, he has a father who loves God too. So, that's why his name was Hero. Like he was named Hero way before the womb. He's probably was named, I think it was like 6 weeks or 7 weeks or something like that. Once we knew, after we heard the heartbeat.
Yeah.
Like,
the name came.
Yeah,
right.
and then it's like you see it
it's very
everywhere.
mystical.
Yeah,
very
you see like
mystical.
scriptures, and then the hero, and it's like his name is Hero. That's our hero.
How old is he now?
Hero's 7 years old now. That's him. We just came back from Disney. He's so excited there. That's us.
Oh, he's got his Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, we're on a Disney cruise there.
Aww. And then you have a little girl.
Oh, that is Shiloh. That is our Bolton.
She's 2?
Yeah,
right?
she's our fireball. That is Shiloh IU, and her name actually IU. We wanted that to be her first name, but Shiloh also means the gift in the Bible. And Shiloh was a surprise because after Hero, we lost another child, and I was like, okay. Like I'm content and I feel blessed with Hero. If that's our fate, then we have Hero, and I'm fine with that. We have two angels, and Shiloh came like the Big Bang. So she is the gift, and I remember the pregnancy was tough because it was during the pandemic. It was the boss. Yes, yes.
That's what it usually is.
It was a pandemic baby, and then it was a lot of issues that I had. I'm not getting into too much detail, but they did think that she was going to have Turner syndrome, where she was going to have problems with growth and a heart defect.
Oh,
So
IU,
IU comes from Ayudin. It's like a word that means like a beautiful heart. And Hero was saying that one day, so I looked it up, and I saw that, and I just began to cry because I was like, whatever happens, her heart, it's still beautiful. She's a beautiful blessing. Right. So that's why her name is like Shiloh IU.
Ooh,
like
the meaning behind your children's name.
Yeah.
It's really deep.
And she's like the fireball. Like she really brought even more life, and Hero's so protective of her. She's very protective of Hero too, but she's like she's the boss. Yeah.
There's a 5-year age difference.
Yes, a 5-year age difference. Yeah.
They still get along, right?
Yeah. Very protective. She loves Hero. She wants to do everything that he does. Hero's very arty. He's into photography like his dad. He's into painting. I actually have a painting that he did when he was 2 years old on like a big canvas in my house. And Shiloh, thank you.
Story. This is one of our big museum supporters.
Thank you so much,
Eric.
And Shiloh's a dancer. I think Shiloh is born to dance.
Yeah, well, I would imagine growing up in your house, like you're just surrounded, like the way you grew up, like you had music, and now like
before she walked,
poetry and art.
Yeah, before she walked, she was like dancing, bouncing, like before she walked, and I would take her. I taught toddler dance class for a year, and she was a baby. And then I noticed, like, as she got closer to 1, and when she started walking, she started doing the classes with me, and I still play the class
just like
playlist.
The osmosis, right?
Right, yeah. and we still have that dance class, that same rundown. I play the same playlist for her, and she knows it. She knows it. She just performed in church. She just turned 2.
That's incredible.
She just performed this past, I think it was May. I teach like 4 or 5-year-olds praise dancing, and we had this huge Women's Day celebration. And they asked us to perform, so I performed with my 2 girls. And she was dressed in white too with the girls, and she was at the rehearsals, but she never danced, or she would just be playing around. She got up the day of the performance, and the church was packed out, and she did the whole routine.
That was her debut.
Yeah, and I was like fighting back tears, trying to like lead all the girls, and afterwards, like we were just hugging each other, and I'm like fighting back, like just crying, because I was like, wow, like she really got up here and danced.
Wow.
Yeah.
She knew the whole routine.
She knew the whole routine.
Wow. Just continuing the tradition. Yeah. Well, Shiloh is also, to me, it seems like a big inspiration for you starting Mile Square Mommies. I feel like we should talk. That's kind of like another baby for you. You started in April, and basically what you're doing is like bringing together Hoboken families, which is incredible.
Yeah. Mile Square Mommies.
Tell us about how you started it, because it was really after you had Shiloh that you were inspired to do it.
Yeah. Wow. I would say Mile Square Mommies has a lot of influence, like my mom and all of the women. Melvana Hicks, who was she was my big cousin, but she was a youth leader before the Jubilee was even built, the Jubilee Center. She was one of the leaders. She was out there fundraising for the Jubilee to be built. Wow. She actually hired me too. She got me the opportunity through other sponsors to teach dance to the kids before the Jubilee was built. So I credit Melvana Hicks, the Project Coat Women's Group that my mom was a part of, Cindy Willis, Linda Davis, Vanessa, Teresa, Gina, Nene Dorch, Karen, Renee Dorch, everybody, my Aunt Tanya. It was so many of those women. That women's group really inspired me. Like, I've always kept with it. And I just wanted to do what they did for us, because, we got older, the kids got older that they were doing that for. We're grown now. And a lot of people moved or they're still there and they didn't have that anymore. And then I moved to Jersey City, and Jersey City mamas like reached out to me because they would see a lot of content that I would create with my art and with Hero. And then I started to get involved with them. I volunteered and did like charity, donated sweets from my business.
You're a great baker.
Yeah, from my business, Dessert Pixie would
Right.
sponsor treats for their play dates and different things like that. And I did some guest moderating on their social media. And, you know, they was like, hey, like you already do, you create awesome content. We love you and Hero. We want you to be a moderator and we want you to start in June 2020. So I was like, oh, okay. Like, you know, I did some guest moderating during the pandemic when we were locked down and people, you know, it was a lot of good feedback and people was like more. So
People really needed that. They
Yeah,
needed that outlet
yeah.
at that time.
and they wanted more diversity. So it was like one of the first African American female moms on
That's
the platform.
awesome.
You know, and it was scary at first because I was excited. Like the first week I did it, and then like the, you know, George Floyd and so much tension and stuff. So I was like, it was hard as a Black mom to like, how do you create in so much tension and so much sadness? Like it's the pandemic on one hand. I have my father-in-law on the front line. Like we can't see them. I barely hear from them because they're working. And then you have like all the tension that's building up, you know, and you know, the president wasn't making it any better. Like it was just so
A
hard,
difficult time.
you know, but you know, they were very accepting on the platform. And you know, I started getting questions like, well, how do you feel? And I was like, well, thanks for asking,
Right.
you know? So that made me comfortable to like really speak and really be authentic and just share my experiences as a Black mom. And they were very inviting. Sonia, now that's my mom internet bestie. She used to follow me on Jersey City Mamas too. So Sonia, thank you. And Jersey City Mamas was a great time. I built like great relationships, and I did that for a year. Even during that time, I had a lot of friends from Hoboken who are moms. They were watching me on Jersey City Moms, and they're like, "Why don't you do that for Hoboken?" And
Yeah, there's a real gap.
Yeah.
We didn't have anything like that.
And I was like, "Well, it's because I'm very close and I'm there every day, but I feel bad because I live downtown Jersey City." And they're like, "But you're Hoboken, Kara. Like
Yeah,
you're like
you're born and raised
you can
here.
do it, and you're
Yeah.
always here, and your family's here. Like you can do it." So like. Mouse Square Mommies has been on my mind for almost 3 years. And then, you know, I remember this year coming in, I wanted to do it and I got scared. And then I just like really thought about it. And I spoke to one of my friends and I spoke to my cousins. I said, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And they're just like, go for it. I said, I'm going to launch it on Nana's birthday, April 5th, because
Such an important date.
it's an important date. And she's the one who's really exposed me to how to be hospitable and compassionate and helping the community. And, you know, she taught me at an early age, you know, to feed the homeless. And she took me to be on her missions, you know. And I said, this is a special date. And we're going to do it. I'm going to do it. So that's how, like, Mouse Square Mommies was born. And at first I didn't say who it was. I remained anonymous, but then it started growing really fast. And then
we were filling a really important gap.
people were curious, people were watching the stories, and then I saw like there was like a hate post too. Like I don't like this anonymous, like I don't like this, and who does this person think she is? And then like the 5 people that knew, and then if you really knew me, some people started DMing me. It was like, I know this is you. I feel your spirit. I know this is you behind Mouse Square Mommies. I know your spirit, Kara. So it was like, I think you should say it, you know, like, don't be afraid. Just say it. It's like, I'm not like afraid, but I was trying to wait for the right time. And I wound up, I did it. I wound up announcing it, I think the day before like my first event. which was like a hey mom.
You took that leap, and nothing but amazing things follow. Proud of you. I know Nana is too. That's so touching.
Thank you. That's my cousin.
Connected to the women in your family.
She's the one I told. Like, she was like, no, I think you could do it. Just go for it. Get your statement.
Oh, I love it. Hoboken High School.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah, we graduated together.
And he did a round table, right?
Yes, he did.
We'll talk about some of the programming. You did a round table with Latino dads.
Yes.
Hispanic Heritage Month. So again, talking about bringing marginalized voices to center.
Right, right.
Making sure, that we include everybody. So
yes.
Tell us about that.
That's one of the goals. That was one of the main goals.
I'm a part of that.
For Miles Square Mommies, it's not to just do community events, but I wanted to do talks with like moms and dads in the communities. I know it's a mom page, but I want more dads to be involved too. And Hey Dad, I did 2 Hey Mamas, and they were great. I had a great time with that. It's good to be encouraged by moms because you need that village. But the Hey Dad like really blew my mind because I really want the dads to have a platform to be open because I know my husband needs that too. Like we need each other. And I listen to him, what he says and how he feels as a dad. So when I did this, I came up with the idea. It was like, let's do it for Hispanic Heritage Month. Let's
perfect.
Celebrate not only, let's celebrate the dads in the community like Pedro and Rob Rivera and Ron, and even you, babe, like, you. Oh, thank you.
That's so nice. Yeah, it's putting the unity.
Yeah, so
well said.
I'm gonna be doing those talks every now and then. But like, Hey Dad was just.
You had a good response to it.
Oh yeah, it was an amazing response. It was much bigger than that. Like, it was more than I could imagine. Like it was. They inspired me. They healed me. Like. It was just so nice to see the dads just be vulnerable and, have their time to just say how they feel. Because a lot of the times it is about the moms, So, and these guys are great fathers. So
and
kudos to the dads.
You're sending a message about parenting, that it's not just on moms.
Right.
That we have, egalitarian parenting. And that's really important. It's really important modeling for our boys and girls.
Yes.
So that's really powerful. That was one of my favorite things you did. I thought that was great. And you did some salsa dancing too.
We did salsa dancing with the amazing Bruno Bonilla. Awesome. He just came off a tour. Like Hoboken has so many beautiful people that came out of
really
Hoboken.
Talented. Yeah.
He literally just came off the tour performing like a Tito Puente tribute, which was huge. And I asked him, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." Like he was just totally down. So we did,
and you incorporate your love of dance,
some Afro dance with it, and we did a community potluck. The first one, it was the Barbie theme, and that was amazing. And I think I love everything that we've done so far. The Chalk the Block was so cool.
Under the viaduct?
Yes, to connect with like new neighbors, people that I didn't know, and old friends. That was beautiful. That was a beautiful day. I think the Juneteenth picnic was that was probably my favorite thing that we've done so far because, mind you, we just started in April, and then I was just like, I have to do, I've always wanted to do a Juneteenth celebration. But to do it in Hoboken, where it has never been celebrated before, where people don't even know what Juneteenth is, and just to celebrate the African-American community and leaders and great people from Hoboken.
You did it at the pier.
We did it at the pier. That was the first time. That was just mind blowing. Like, I still can't believe that we did that. And it was special because it was in my hometown. It was something that was never done here before. And then they asked me to speak at the flag raising. And that was just, on those steps, all I could think about was like my nana, my granddaddy, like the ancestors. Right. And just everybody.
They came to Hoboken for a new life. And
right.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
It's very powerful.
mind blowing. Yeah. So I think
powerful.
Juneteenth was like very special, emotional. It was very spiritual. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. And it was everyone for all walks of life was there at that picnic. We had a great time. A great time.
Well, to many more.
Yes. I'm excited for the next Juneteenth event.
We're grateful for all of the innovative programming that you're including and incorporating. And
Thank you.
Is there something that you want to do in the future that you haven't had a chance to do yet?
That
we can stay tuned about?
There's two things I wanted to do. And I'm gonna put it out there for everybody because I want to do like a baby shower, like a big community baby shower for like women in shelters.
That's a wonderful idea.
I definitely want to do that. I've seen people do that for army wives, for deployed husbands that are in the war overseas. Most recently, Qua from Jersey City, she did one as well, and that was beautiful. And I was like, okay, yeah, I keep seeing them, and that's a goal of mine. Like I've always wanted to do that. So yeah, guys, if you want to help me out with that, I think that'll be beautiful. There's a lot of things I want to do, and we do have a wonderful Black History Month celebration collaboration coming up with Hoboken Historical Museum. Not gonna spill the beans on that just yet, but we have our date, and I'm excited about that as well. Yeah, I'm just
really
excited.
Looking forward to it. So stay tuned. More to come. More to come. Oh, we have some great pictures. These are your parents.
Yeah, my mom and dad. That's actually September 28th. My mom was ordained. This is a special day because my mom and I received honors at our church. I was elevated to a missionary, and my mom was ordained as an evangelist, a preacher. So,
wow.
Yeah, that was a proud moment to be up there with my mom, you know.
Faith is a family tradition.
Faith and art is like, that is everything for my family.
And your dad, the DJ.
Yeah, my dad, he still DJs. Yes, let me tell you, the pandemic really brought us the creativity. Like, it was always there, but it kind of like, because we work before the pandemic, we worked, but the pandemic really brought us back to our first love, art. So like all four of us, and my dad, and he bought a Casio and Cricut, and we all make shirts and apparel we sell, and my dad started DJing again, and I started painting and designing clothes again.
Is this one of your own
designs? This is my own. Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Look at that.
I did it today.
Wow.
Faith, peace, love, and unity.
Wow. That's gorgeous. Beautiful. Oh, and here is your family.
Yeah.
You're celebrating the 10-year anniversary?
Yeah, this is our vow renewal this past summer on the Brooklyn Bridge where it all started. And we have our kids now, of course, because they wasn't here when we got married. Right. They came after marriage. But
beautiful picture.
This is awesome. We renewed our vows in front of like so many people. They stopped on the bridge. They were cheering us on like they knew us. They were taking pictures of us.
New York.
It was a whole New York vibe. It was great.
Oh,
yeah, that's us. God is in the story. God first in everything. Yeah, like
beautiful.
Yeah, He's the foundation.
That's an incredible picture.
Thank you.
And I love that quote, God is in the story. It's very obvious that God is in your story.
Yeah.
I feel like we covered a lot of ground, and you shared so much about your family and yourself and your background, all the things that you're good at, and all the gifts that you share with Hoboken. And we're very grateful to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank
you for being here with us. I'm wondering if there's any last minute thoughts that you'd like to share with our
that picture's making me emotional.
That's fun. Yeah, you're like 10 or 11 in that picture.
Yeah, that that was the turning point. I think that was.
I'm just Finally watching you on here.
That was me coming out the cocoon.
Right. We had a lot of people who were there for you, and now you're able to get back to so many families, and you're continuing that tradition of faith and generosity and service. And
it's dear to my heart.
and we're just so grateful to have had you, and thank you to everybody for tuning in.
So
we had so many wonderful comments, especially from former classmates, which was great.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Red Wings for life. Once a Red Wing, always a Red Wing.
All these great programs that you were able to do.
Oh, thank you so much.
And wonderful teachers who are looking out for you.
Oh, yeah. I have to thank Mr. Ising. I haven't spoken to him in so long. Cowboys Nation, okay, Mr. Ising? Always. He's like the biggest Cowboys fan besides my dad.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mr. Ising, everybody. Thank you, Miss Ohouse. Thank you, Jared Ramos. Thank you, Stephen Izzard. Carrie Grooms. Thank you, Project Cope. Thank you, Grace Christian Church. Sister Cannon, I love you.
That's your home church.
My home church, Grace Christian Church. Thank you, everybody. All the mom pages, too, that follow my Bow Square Mommies. Like, there's, like, no competition. Like, we are so, like, they show me so much love. So I have to shout out, like, Bayonne moms, Harlem moms, Harlem mamas. They always show love. That's urban and suburban moms. I love you, Jersey City moms and Jersey City mamas. Brooklyn Bridge parents. I love you guys. Thanks for, like, showing Mouse Square Mommies so much love.
That's awesome.
And my husband and my kids. I love you so much.
Wish you all the best,
Thank you.
with continued programming and making an impact in Hoboken and beyond.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so
I love you, Hoboken.
Yay! So thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Thank you.
Really big thank you to Shakera and all her family and friends who tuned in, and all of you are wonderful supporters. So our next show coming up is with Mario, Mario's Pizza, Mario Abunias. We're really looking forward to hosting him. He's had his shop open since 1986, so he has a lot to share about history. And then after that, we have wonderful Stu Chiricella interviewing Hoboken Mary. That'll be our last show for 2023. That'll conclude this season. So we thank all of you for tuning in for all these amazing shows that we've had, and those are our last two of this year. So we need to thank some key players who help us do our work. New Jersey Historical Commission, thank you for your support. New Jersey Council for Humanities. This is our shipyard circle. It includes museum trustees and individuals who are, very critical to our success. So thank you for your support. We thank Iron State. We have our space because of them. So thank you for your generosity, Iron State. And just a shout out, there's only, I would say about a month and a half left, or a month left, I would say, of the Fires exhibit, which documents this early period of arson between 1978 and 1982, told from the perspective of the survivors. It is a very deep, impactful exhibit. It closes December 22nd. If you haven't seen it, we really encourage you to come. It's a very important and tragic part of Hoboken history. In the upper gallery where we're recording right now, we have a beautiful new exhibit coming of Maggie Hinders, great painter. She has her opening this Sunday, November 12th. It'll be open from 2 to 5. She's also part of the City Art Walk Art Tour. So we welcome you all. Maggie is an amazing Midwestern girl who moved to Hoboken, and she also got to fulfill her creative dreams here. She's a strong woman creative, and we're so delighted to have her. She's going to finish out the year. And then looking to December, we have to shout out we have a poet in residence named Danny Schott. He is hosting a great poetry show. It's called The Americans, and it's all poets who are of immigrant backgrounds or first generation. And this is an amazing lineup. Grizel, Marina, Mark, and Mega. These are all Hudson County poets. They're really awesome. We're really looking forward to it. It'll be Sunday, December 3rd at 4 p.m. If you can't make it, it also will be live streamed on Facebook and YouTube. We're really looking forward to this event. So thank you everyone for tuning in. We love it when you comment and you like and you share it and you subscribe. Oh, Anthony, I just noticed that that's our window in the background. I hadn't noticed that. So thank you everyone. Please stay tuned for future programming. Like Shakera said, we have some exciting things coming up in 2024. And everyone here at the Hoboken Historical Museum, we are so thankful for your support. We're a small but mighty team, but we really are committed to preserving Hoboken history and being a vibrant cultural center. So thank you, everyone. We are so grateful to be doing this work in partnership with you. So signing off, thank you all. We love you. Thank you to Shakira's family, and thank you to her everyone who tuned in. And good night.